Hola, hola. Here are some notes for the preterite in case you would like to review for the test or just hear it again before we continue on with new grammar. So remember, for endings for the preterite verbs, for AR verbs, we have aste, o, amos, astes, aron. For ER verbs, we have iste, io, imos, istes, ieron. So always the yo form and the la usted form of the verbs are going to be the forms that have an accent, always on the last letter. So ER verbs, the accent's not going to be on the I, but rather it will be on the O. Here are these answers. We did these ones in class. And then car-gar-zar verbs, remember in the yo form, in preterite, verbs that end in car, gar, or zar will change to maintain pronunciation. So verbs that end in car, the C will change to QU. Verbs that end in gar, G will change to GU. And verbs that end in zar, Z will change to C. This helps keep the pronunciation of the verb. So we change tokar yo form to tokay, QU, because if it was a C, it would still be tosei. We want to keep the ka sound. So tokay, everything else is normal. Tokaste, toko, tokamos, tokastes, tokaron. Yegar, same thing. Yo form only needs to change. G to GU, yegay. We want to keep the ga sound. If we didn't change it, it would sound like yay hey. Everything else is regular. Yegaste, yego, yegamos, yegastes, yegaron. We still keep the accents on the yo form and the la usted and the last letter. Empezar, yo form, empecé, Z to C. Everything else normal. Empezaste, empezó, empezamos, empezastes, empezaron. So really this is just any verb that ends in car, gar, or zar will follow this rule, but here are some examples. Okay, and then we have the sandal, slipper verbs. These are the stem changers in the preterite. So in order for a verb to stem change in preterite, it has to be an IR verb. AR verbs and ER verbs can never stem change in preterite. It has to be IR. It has to stem change in the present tense. So like vivir, to live, it's an IR verb, but it doesn't stem change in present, so it's not going to stem change in preterite. And it's only going to be in the sandal or the slipper. LA usted, EOS ustedes forms. Stem changers in preterite only will go E to I or O to U. Only a half stem change. So repetir is an IR verb. It does stem change in present. E will change to I. So it will stem change in the bottom and the sandal or slipper of preterite. So repetir, repetiste, can't stem change in those. It's not in the sandal. Now we do. Repetio, repetimos, repetistes, repetirum. Only in the sandal or slipper do we stem change. Dormir, same thing. Dormi, dormiste, dormio. Dormimos, dormistes, dormieron. Sandal or slipper, we stem change in the la usted, eos ustedes, but the top four we don't. Seguir, to follow, goes E to I. So segui, seguiste, seguio. Seguimos, seguiste, siguieron. And then these are some examples of other verbs that will stem change in the preterite. Not all of them, just a few examples. And these are the answers in case you didn't catch these in class when we went through them. Okay, and then we have the double vowel verbs in the preterite, or the Y verbs. So again, it's only on the sandal or the slipper, LA usted, EOS ustedes, any verb that has a double vowel or a UIR verb. UIR verbs will have normal accents. They have accents in the yo form and the LA usted form. Double vowel ones like kayer, layer, oir, those will have more accents. They have accents in every single form except for the eos form. So for example, leí, leíste, leo, leímos, leístes, leyeron. Layer has an accent in every form except for eos. Its double vowel is not a UIR verb. There's a Y only in the sandal or the slipper down here. So accents in all these top five, but a Y in the sandal or slipper. Oír, same thing. Oí, oíste, oyó, oímos, oístes, oyeron. Has a Y only in the sandal or the slipper. It has an accent in everything except for eos as ustedes. Influir is a UIR verb, so it will still have a Y only on the sandal or the slipper, the bottom two, but it has normal accents, not like a weir and layer. It has accents just like the regular preterite verbs, and the yo form, and then the la usted on the last letter. Here are some other examples. Pretty much it'll just be most verbs that end in UIR, not sigir, but most others, or verbs that have a double vowel. And these answers. And then we have our regulars. So ir and ser are the identical twins. They're conjugated the exact same way. We say fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. No accents. Dar and ver, fraternal twins, almost the same. DV, only the first letter is different. Diste, dio, dimos, distes, dieron. Viste, vio, vimos, vistes, vieron. Everything's the same except for the first letter. These are the 4 small verbs. There are no accents for these 4. Next, we have the U, I, J verbs. There are no accents for U, I, or J verbs either. And U, I, and J verbs have their own special endings. So U verbs endings are A, iste, o, imos, istes, ieron. No accents. Remember, U verbs, we have the acronym DON'T, a step, and U. So andar, anduv, saber, soup, tener, tuv, estar, estuv, poner, pud, poner, pus, aber is always going to be ubo, always LA form. I verbs, same exact endings as the U verbs. They have the same special set of endings, no accents still. So, e, iste, o, imos, istes, ieron. Only 3 I verbs, querer, quis, hacer, is, venir, vin. And then the J verbs, all of the endings are the same except for the last one. Ellos, as, ustedes is just eron instead of ieron. So small verbs, U verbs, I verbs, J verbs, none of those have accents. J verbs, we have decir, dich, traducir, traduc, conducir, conduc, traer, traf, introducir, introduc, producir, produc. And then the answers to the practice problems: puse, pusiste, fueron, fuimos, dijeron, dije, hizo, hice. Remember with hacer, the LA form has a Z, but the rest have a C. And that is all of preterite. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at gmanson@geneva304.org, or of course you can ask in class. Alright, hasta luego.